The top story now, the rand continues to lose ground as the recession shockwaves spread. The local currency has slipped slightly overnight after losing more than 3% to the dollar yesterday. The country was plunged into a technical recession after the economy shrunk for a second quarter in a row. Analysts had predicted the economy would grow by 0.6%. Instead, the country's GDP decreased by 0.7% in the second quarter. Government insists there is no need to panic, but some analysts disagree.
Look, I don't think people should panic. Of course, it's okay for people to be concerned, but which is a good sign that people are paying an interest in their country when this happens. And I think it's also going to call on all of us to work together to lift the country out of this. I spoke earlier about the investment conference that is coming. There is the job summit that is coming. We are building up to the medium-term budget policy statement. There is going to be a consultation process, and it will be important and it's going to be critical to hear the views of ordinary South Africans also, but in a constructive manner, because I think we just had an opportunity here as a nation to work together towards rebuilding.
So don't panic, government is working on a plan.
It's working with South Africans also, and we are committed.
Thanks.
I really think it's going to get worse, and there are a number of reasons. If you observe in the last 2 to 4 years, we've had a number of near hits and misses of a recession, whether a technical recession or recession. We've had the manufacturing sector dipping into a recession on its own from previously. This means that our economy has refused to recover since about 2008-2009 financial crisis. And of course, I accept those who say we can no longer blame the global recession for this, because by far and large, economies around the world have actually recovered quite meaningfully. And we have seen emerging economies, and particularly a number of African economies for that matter, going forward in terms of growth and actually attracting massive investments into their shores and becoming the fashionable destinations for investors. You look at the likes of Kenya, Rwanda, and how investors talk about them today. But of course, I am also not one to say growth can only be driven by investors, particularly foreign investors. Locally, what are we doing to cultivate a number of sectors? One, we remain without much of a policy in terms of the informal economy and how people should participate there and how they should be assisted to participate. And yet the informal economy has massive success stories in terms of how people have used it to as a shock absorber between themselves and unemployment and poverty. Vuyo, if you look at the other indicators, continued fuel increases, the weakening of the rand, unemployment statistics, and of course, in a situation like this where there is a recession, there is high possibility of growth of inequality, and this is what we've seen with the last recession that happened